Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry, you're Richard Vullery.
Yes.
And Mr. Vullery was previously in court and cause number 25 BCCR 1746, entered a plea of guilty to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a second-degree felony. And that was, so was it unagreed as to the type of probation, but it was agreed that you would get probation, or just unagreed?
Correct, Your Honor. It was
Okay.
agreed to probation with the court to decide the type and length.
That's what I thought. It was just the way this is worded is a little, okay. And I've received that pre-sentence report. Have you both had an opportunity to review it?
Yeah, Judge.
I have, Your Honor.
Any additions or corrections?
No, not from the defense, Judge.
Judge, other than the court will recall the several times we've been here with respect to the bond issue. This is the one at the Chris Food Mart where we went back and forth on who could be employed there or not.
Yes.
With Mr. Collier, he had called and expressed concern several times. I spoke at length with the author of the PSI, Ms. Ramirez, and let her know my contact with Mr. Collier. And the court would recall that, so that she didn't have to feel like she needed to include all of that. That's why there's a little bit less of a statement from him in the PSI. Would ask that the court just take all of those factors into account and his expressed concern as well, and make sure that this individual stays away from him and also away from that location.
So I thought though that it got worked out where he's the one working there, not the other one.
Correct,
Right.
I believe so, but.
So the
that-
remain
guess
away
not
from the
both.
food mart, I'm not
I
gonna
guess
do.
not that, but that he remain away from the antique store that Mr. Collier may own. Is that true?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
do you own that?
No, ma'am, I'm wearing the device to stay away from there and. it's,
Right.
Okay,
Sorry.
so do we know the address to that
I
place?
think we had it at the time of the bond.
Yeah, it was included
Magnolia.
It's on Magnolia.
exclusion for that with the GPS.
I have it.
Well, he has an exclusion for the Chris Food Mart because that's where you work.
Work, yes, ma'am.
And there was some issue at first on who got to work there, and you work there and he does not.
Right.
Okay, but this other place, I don't recall.
32 it was back in March, Judge. We had him trespass warrant or admonished not to go to 3235 Pine.
Say it
Street,
again, I'm sorry, 30.
3235 Pine and 3265 Magnolia. And then at that point in time, you had 3090 Gulf, which is the food mart, which obviously
Right.
we will rescind that, I
Okay.
guess.
And these are all in Beaumont.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, anything else then?
No.
With regard to type of probation, Mr. Lewis?
Well, Judge, I know he has had some limit, criminal history there, but we still would ask that the court consider a deferred adjudicated probation on him. We think that definitely with his work history, working in the public and things of that nature, I think all of his history has been retail history. So which of course, if anything does change with his job history, it definitely will make it harder, of course, with a conviction involved. So we are asking that it be given a deferred adjudication.
Ms. Malfino?
Judge, obviously with this history, the state would have appreciated a straight probation, but more so I would like a lengthy probation. So I'd defer to what you deem is appropriate, but I would ask that it be lengthy.
So here's the thing, based on the nature of the offense and the fact that a firearm was used and exhibited, I am not inclined to give a deferred probation. I think the conviction gives us a little more control and hopefully protection with regard to the ability to possess a firearm, and that's important to me based on this. And so here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Vullery. I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence. Wait, I can't do it deferred, can I? On an ag assault? Can't, yeah,
No.
yeah. We're just
Yeah,
having that issue.
yeah.
Well, never mind then. Here's what I'm gonna do. Should have figured that out when we took the plea. That would have resolved some things. All right, so Mr. Vullery, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to defer all proceedings and place you on probation for 10 years. You're ordered to pay a $500 fine and to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. One of those includes, obviously, you cannot possess a firearm. at any time, at any place, for any reason. Do you understand? In addition to all of regular and whatever conditions of probation that they think are appropriate, you're also ordered that you cannot be at the location of 3235 Pine Street in Beaumont, Texas, and also 3265 Magnolia Street. Do you understand? And have no contact whatsoever with Byron Collier. So if you are anywhere else and he's there also, then you have to leave. Do you understand? Not just these two places, but anywhere else. I am obviously going to allow you, I think everything's still the same as far as I know with you working at the Chris Food Mart, that's fine. But if anything else comes up that is of concern of where he is, or if you think you're gonna get violated because he's somewhere, then you need to let your attorney know, let your probation officer know. Because here's what just happened. So you have a deferred probation.
Mhm.
It wasn't what I intended to do, but I legally I have to, and it also gives me actually a lot more of kind of a hammer to hang over your head if something goes wrong. So here's what that means. Right now, you do not have this felony conviction on your record. If you successfully complete this probation, at the end of it, the case is dismissed. You'll never have this felony conviction. But the other side of that is if you violate any condition of probation, because it's a deferred probation, you could be brought back into court. You could then be found guilty of the offense, and I could send you to prison for anywhere in the range of punishment, which is a minimum 2 years up to 20 years. Do you understand? So I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. You just need to have a seat here in the courtroom. Probation's going to call you to her desk when she's ready to go over your paperwork. All right, good luck to you, sir. Good morning, ma'am. You are Treasurer Harris, and this is cause number 24, DCCR 1482. And Ms. Harris was previously in court, entered a plea of guilty to unlawful carrying a weapon in prohibited place. I've received the pre-sentence report. Have you both had an opportunity to review that report?
I have, Judge.
I have none.
Any additions or corrections?
No, ma'am.
Judge, other than the fact that this court has already admonished her several times about not possessing a weapon and not being on the property of Lamar University, which I think she is no longer enrolled.
Okay. All right, ma'am, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney and defer all proceedings and place you on probation for 3 years. You're ordered to pay the $500 fine and to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. That includes not possessing a weapon. That includes if someone else has one and they hand it to you, or I mean, this situation, you're 2 semesters away from graduating college. You know, you've got to be looking and thinking, how stupid of a decision to make, to not just do it, but let's put it all over social media. It could change your life, and it has, hadn't it? So I want you to be successful. We all do. There's no reason for any of us to think that you're not going to be successful, but it's very important that you follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. So you'll be on that 3-year deferred. If you do everything you're supposed to, this is such a great opportunity because you don't have a felony conviction on your record. Having a felony conviction will change your life in very negative ways. Lots of colleges won't even accept you. And so do everything you're supposed to on the probation. If you do everything you're supposed to, get that community service done up front, pay your fees, do everything correctly, you can even get off probation early. That happens all the time. It's going to be up to you though. So if you don't do everything you're supposed to on this probation, if you violate any condition, you can be brought back into court, found guilty, which means you'll have a felony conviction on your record, and then you can be sentenced anywhere in the range of punishment, which is between 2 years and up to 10 years. So you need to take advantage of this, because I can tell you right now, anything that has to do with guns at this point is obviously being taken extremely seriously in our county. If you're back in here and the underlying offense has something to do with a gun, even though you just held it and did whatever you shouldn't have done with it, you're likely to go to prison for a long time. So nobody wants that. So do everything you're supposed to. It's harder when you're young because your friends are going to be going out and doing certain things that you're not going to be able to do. But these are decisions that are going to affect you long term. So think long term and not short term. Okay. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. You just need to have a seat here in the courtroom. Probation's gonna call you up to her desk when she's ready to go over your paperwork. All right, good luck to you. Get those last 2 semesters done and graduate, okay?